Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about everything that we know so far about Sia Astelle, the new class coming to MapleStory on June 11th, less than 10 days away, and we're going to get Sia fully unlocked in the game. Now, obviously, everything right now is kind of just like preview stuff, so we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have to wait until the patch notes, which will come out on June 10th, to know literally every single little detail. But there's still a lot that we can learn from what they've given us so far. So if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, definitely be sure to subscribe because it helps me out a lot. Pull up to the live stream where you can join the community, have a really good time, watch me play Sia live because I'll be playing her, and of course you could join the Discord where you could get help with anything you like. With that all out of the way, let's get right into it. First of all, let's talk about Sia Astelle. She is a magician, right? She uses int. She has a new weapon called Celestial Light. Initially I thought this was just like an arcane weapon, but it's just a brand new weapon called Celestial Light, and she has a new secondary weapon called Compass. Don't know if there's going to be a Princess No Compass. I don't know if she's going to be able to wear a Deimos shield, so I don't know if this is going to be her actual best in slot secondary or not. So but they made this post called introducing Sia Astelle, and they give us a lot of information about her. So it says Sia Astelle is a magician that uses a unique stellar marking system where you combine several marking skills to activate powerful constellation skills. Her gameplay systems, progression, and controls have been completely redesigned for global MapleStory. So this is important. Basically, she's very different to all the other classes in the game. So this is a class that has existed on MapleStory M, but on global MapleStory, the main version of the game, she's going to be pretty different. So let's watch this first video together. So you can see some of her attacks here. She's just kind of spamming random abilities. She has her like Fox Summon or whatever. Now this is a really big one: fusion versus instant activation. So it says in order to facilitate battles requiring quick reflexes, a function to instantly activate constellation skills has been added. However, the existing way of activating skills through fusion will still be available, so you are free to choose whichever method best fits the situation. So what this tells me is there's basically two ways to play her. You could either do fusion skills very similarly to how Evan has fusion skills, or use instant activation where you could just use the fusion skill right away. So for people who want to sweat and actually combo the fusions and play very predictively and position well, you could do that. Or people who just want to instantly activate their skills, they could do that as well. So you can see like the different constellations come up, or you could just use the skill immediately. Enhancement automatically applied when activating skills through fusion. So what's good about fusion skills is if you use them instead of the instant activation, you get a bonus. I don't know how much this bonus is. I don't know how worth it is, because sometimes historically throughout MapleStory, using the instant activation is only very slightly worse, but like infinitely easier. So we're gonna have to see how big of a bonus you get from using the fusion skills manually, because if it's a huge bonus, then it's definitely worth doing it and learning it, and she's gonna be probably a harder class to play. But I do like that they at least had an instant activation option, because not everybody wants to play a class in a sweaty way. I think a lot of people will want to play her even in a casual way, even if it's unoptimal, just because they like the way the class looks. So it says Sia also has a buff that grants constellation skill enhancements when she uses the instant activation of skills for a set period of time. So even if you were to use the instant activation version, there is like a buff that would give you the fusion enhanced version for a certain amount of time, which is pretty interesting. Probably going to be part of her burst or something. So you can see it's probably that hourglass or whatever that spitting constellation thing was that just gives her like a huge buff for a certain amount of time. And then you can see she's kind of going crazy here. Skill sequence support. So it's really good that they added skill sequence support for this class as well, because she does seem to have a lot of skills, and they managed to put it for a brand new class, which is W on Exxon, because they were able to develop this and not just copy paste it from KMS. So let's look at her skill sequence. So this first skill seems to just be her hero's echo skill, attack power and magic attack 4%. Next one is a crit damage buff for 10%. Again, I don't know if these buffs are going to be applied to people near you or if it's just for yourself, but let's say you can apply them to other people. Like this alone, crit damage 10% is pretty good. This one, IED plus 30% for 30 seconds and then cooldown 60. You know, again, if you can apply this to other people, is really good. And then if you do it through fusion, apparently you get 30 attack as well. Damage plus 10%, and then you get another line on your attacks. I mean, that's a huge buff right there. Gotta get extra line. And then this is the big one: duration 10 seconds, final damage plus 10%. So if this is something that you could give to other people, final damage plus 10%, that's a huge buff, along with the IED, the crit damage. Like all of a sudden her support capabilities are crazy, to be honest with you. And then that's all the skills that they show us. But it would be very interesting if you can give these buffs to other people. If not, then it's whatever, honestly. So this is a big one that a lot of people have been been talking about, focusing on offensive. So it says previously Sia provided a mix of offensive and supportive capabilities. When bringing her to global MapleStory, she's been returned to focus solely on attacking in order to enhance the gameplay fun. By clearly defining her role, Sia will have a more fun and impactful role in fights. So a lot of people are perceiving this, understandably, like I understand why people are perceiving it this way. They're perceiving it as like she has no support at all. She's just a purely DPS or burst class. I get why people are saying that for sure, but I still find it hard to believe that she'll have literally zero support. Now, the buffs that we just looked at, again, they could only be for herself, but I wouldn't say 100% she's only gonna be DPS and have no support. Again, I would just wait for the patch notes for it. I think the reason why they mention this is because on global MapleStory, it's really important to have a lot of solo damage, because most of the bossing experience on this game, believe it or not, you do it solo. You're eventually like gonna get past the point of doing Black Mage and C10, and you're gonna have to be soloing these bosses every single week. So you actually do need a lot of solo damage. Whereas if a class only had support and had no solo damage, it wouldn't be good. So this is a huge one as well. Exclusive 6-drop system Erda Link. So initially we thought that Erda Link was going to be a brand new system for power increase for global MapleStory. Now, there was a lot of reasons why people thought this. I thought this myself too. Historically, the reboot world, the heroic world, was nerfed. Like, we're not as strong as we originally were because of many different reasons, but mostly it boiled down to, in the Korean version of the game, the Korean reg server players didn't like that the reboot world was strong, so it's like they nerfed the reboot world to make the reg server more appealing, but then eventually they just deleted the reboot world in Korea. So it's like we got all the downsides of that era of reboot being nerfed without being compensated for it. So people thought like, oh, this is Erda Link, this is GMS's solution to giving us more power in the end game. But it turns out that Erda Link is just a specific 6-job enhancing system for Sia. So we don't know 100% how this works, but we do have like a sort of good idea of how it works. Now, a lot of people are saying things that are kind of dumb in my opinion, like Sia's not gonna get Soul Janus now, or she's not gonna get an Origin, or she's not gonna get all these different skills. And it's like, I wouldn't go that far and say she's not gonna get Soul Janus. I think that's a bit much. I think she's just gonna have to get a different build path to get there. So it says here, 6-job progression system designed for Sia Astelle. Its unique structure reflects the setting of the Shine characters and provides a completely different progression experience other than an existing Hexa system. So it says Shine characters, multiple. So people are taking that as like, this is pretty much confirmation that Erda will be released as a class at some point. Some people are seeing Shine because it's in all caps and it stands for something. Like my friend Jerome said that Sia Astelle is the S in Shine, Erda is the E in Shine, and there's going to be 3 other classes that start with H, I, or N, and then they're all going to make the Shine characters. Maybe that's going to be the case, but it definitely seems to me that this is kind of a confirmation that there's going to be more than one Shine type character with the Erda Link system. But the gist of the Erda Link system is it's supposed to be something that's challenging, where you're supposed to have your own build path, and you can sort of get the different types of stats that you desire from this. So not only do you get your Hexa skills, you could get other stats from this, and it'll make your character stronger. So it says runestone nodes allow people to strategically forge their own progression path. These new nodes activate often, making progression fast and satisfying. To me, it says activate often. It seems to be like a V skill. You know how Fatal Strike procs every 30 seconds? It seems to be something like that, where these skills are just going to activate all the time, and you're going to get bonuses based off of what build path you go. There's also like a light system where a certain area gets lit up and it unlocks other things that are near it, like within the light area, which I'm not 100% sure how this works. People who play more games than me probably have seen a system similar to this, and if you have, definitely leave a comment down below that could maybe shed some light on the light system. Yup. And then there is the Shine Stone enhancement, which Doomers are going crazy for because Doomers love to Doom. It says Shine Stones provide higher stats than Rune Stones and reward continual investment. Although there is a chance to fail, this progression system is for those who like a challenge. So this seems to be like a super juice bonus stat that you can get, but there's a chance for it to not tier up, which Doomers are perceiving it as like, oh my god, you're gonna boom your Hexa and then you're fucked. And it's like, bro, calm the fuck down. Anyways, that's basically what what we know about Sia so far. Obviously, if you have any input, questions, or thoughts about this class, definitely leave a comment down below. For me personally, I am excited about this class. Like, I think this is a good addition. I don't think anybody should be like necessarily sad about her existence. Like, who cares? At the end of the day, you could just not play her. It's always a good addition to have something new to the game. That's the way that I think about it. So I'm gonna play her 100%. I'm gonna see how this Erda link system works, all that stuff. So you could definitely look forward to that on my stream. You could look forward to that on my videos and everything else that I post. Appreciate you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Shout out to my members: Blazefire, Shooms, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Koga, Skittles, Dante Victory, CK, Jay, Kyle, Vampiric X, Fresh and Juicy, Assassin, Henzo, Henrique, and Kelvin. I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you everybody who submitted fan art. You can always submit it in the Discord and it'll be put at the end of every video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.